Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Evolutions are soaring to new heights inside of Winter Wildcards as we finally get to upgrade higher rated items, including, yes, the most overpowered player in this game, Claudia Pina. We're going to take a look at what this means, especially for prices of those players that have already started to move up because people are investing in them for these upcoming Evos. But I will say, I don't think all of these are good investments right off the bat. We're going to talk about that today. Plus, we have more Winter Wildcards news and leaks, including a new and improved icon pack and more player SBCs, and a crazy price movement on Fodder that we have to discuss. Of course, still inside this Winter Wildcards market crash where a lot of player prices are still very low. Let's get into things, guys. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, yesterday's content on Tuesday did bring us a surprise late drop of a evolution. Guys, yesterday we had the package delivery Evo, and it was delivered late because this content was released an hour after the normal 6 p.m. content drop time. But hey, this is a very solid evolution. It gives vision, crossing, and curve stat boost, as well as the whipped pass playstyle, which isn't great, but most of us probably now are putting these evolutions on players that already have 6 base playstyles, so you're not even getting whipped pass from it. But the second part of this Evo gives defending, dribbling up to 88, and long passing plus 10 up to 90. This is a great Evo, as you can see what I'm doing with it here, to boost stats on lower rated chains, especially a lot of the chain Evos that have been going crazy right now. Some of these lower rated bronze and silvers and gold cards just end up looking ridiculous after all of these new Evos have come out. This is also an evolution that you could save if you'd rather do that for Winter Wildcards Evos and more chains that could potentially be happening soon in the future with this promo upcoming. But this is what I'm doing at the moment with this Jarzinho, taking him on a crazy wild ride from 74 rated all the way up through with a whole bunch of different evolutions up to an 82 rated card with not as much physical as other versions that are out there, but 89 shooting, 90 dribbling, and 88 pace. So this is kind of the chain that I decided to do, taking one of these silver superstars icons, of course, foregoing the opportunity to use them in silver events in the future, but also just giving them a crazy stat boost because of how low rated they are. And I'm really enjoying this card, and I'm super excited to get him all the way boosted up to be a really crazy item. So I'm excited for that one. Also, I packed 85 rated gold Hyunmin Sun, so he went into the Wizard Evo here, which is going to take him, of course, to the 5-star Finesse Plus beast that he's about to be for me on the left side. So Evos continue to be very great. And of course, what we're going to talk about with today relating to Winter Wildcards Evos is also great news. But yesterday's content included a couple of new SBCs as well, with a new player of the month from Ligue 1, that is Tovan. Now, Press Proven Plus is probably the worst part of this card. Stats look really good. He needs a weak foot boost as well for sure, but his first player of the month, I actually did the SBC and he was pretty good in game. This one looks like he could be pretty good as well. I just think we probably wish he had like a finesse technical or Tiki Taka Plus instead of the Price Proven, but he is only 42,000 coins to get done. He is pretty cheap, but this is the real content from the SBCs yesterday. The 80 plus 3 of 10 player pick, and then also the 85 plus 1 of 3 player pick that dropped yesterday too. Both of these player picks are very good, and they're going to be out during Winter Wildcards. As you can see here, they're out for a week each, I believe. Let me check on the 80 plus on that one. The 80 plus is out for, okay, no, only for a couple more days. But these are really good player picks to open right now and save for Winter Wildcards. Now, here's the thing. These only require golds, right? What did we just get a couple of days ago? The Winter Provisions upgrade, which gives us a whole bunch of golds, which is now making it feel okay that EA is still requiring golds as a part of these player picks. Very similar to how we had a lot of golds required during Black Friday. But again, we have the Winter Provisions upgrade that gives us all the golds that we need to get this done. Now, right now, a lot of you guys were asking me in the stream yesterday, what is the best craft? What is the best way to be opening packs right now? Or should we just be saving everything? Now, personally, I am opening these player picks. I opened the 80 plus 3 of 10s. I did 2 of them. I still have 1 more to do. I also opened all the 85 plus picks yesterday because I'm still chasing after the Christian Eriksen card. And if you save these player picks, you're going to be stuck in the unassigned and you won't be able to open any packs. You won't be able to open your daily common golds. You won't be able to open anything, your daily silvers and stuff like that. So for me, I'm still doing a little bit of a menu grind right now on this game with the Unbreakables in packs because I know there's going to be so many many packs during Winter Wildcards. We'll be grinding to an even greater level during that promo when that comes out this Friday. So I'm not worried about missing out on a couple of the 85 plus picks or the 80 plus 3 of 10s for now. So right now I'm opening these, but if you want to literally save these for Winter Wildcards, you won't be able to open packs after you put these into your unassigned. That is the only problem with it. So personally, I'm still doing the daily common golds. I'm still getting the winter provision upgrades done. And then I'm doing some 78 plus player picks to try to pack players to put into the 85 to 87. I'm still doing the same menu craft that I talked about yesterday, and I'm opening packs at the moment. Now, speaking of those winter provision upgrades, the SBC that is great value that just requires those 385s is starting to catch on, and people are really buying up the 85s and the 86s. Guys, it was crazy yesterday at a certain moment in time for actually a couple of hours. 85 rated cards were more expensive than 86s. Remember when these were 2.7K on the video yesterday when we looked at them? They are now over 4,000 coins for all 85 rated cards, which is crazy. And you know what's crazy? It's still cheaper to do the Winter Provisions upgrade pack and buy 385 rated cards for 12K per SBC than it would be to go buy the gold cards that you get from that SBC being out, right? All 25, rares and 15 non-rares that you get from that, those are still more expensive than doing 385s at 4,000 a piece. Buy 86s now, guys. That is my advice to you. Buy these cards. They look like they're going to go to 5K. If they went from 2.7 to 4K yesterday, who says they can't go to 5K today? They just keep surprising me in how much they're rising in price, and it's absolutely phenomenal if you invested in them. If you sold too early, like Nate, I had 85s, and I sold them for 3.9K or whatever, that's fine. Like, this is a crazy, crazy, crazy rise for those cards, and honestly unprecedented, to be honest. But that SBC has so much demand, and we all need rare golds and common golds. That is why it is going up. Now, let's talk about the rest of the market, because that was still a very interesting place yesterday, as a lot of prices were still dropping around the market, in a couple of specific cards like these Man of the Matches were dropping a lot, but other cards started to bounce back a little bit. That's what I want to talk about with some of these super rare cards, or cards that we learned about that might be going out of packs, like this Kylian Mbappe 1.53. This might have been his low point before Winter Wildcards actually comes out. He is up 100K from where he was in that early stage yesterday on Tuesday. That may have been the peak, or the low point of the panic selling, if you will. Guess we shouldn't call it the peak. It was the low, right? Because the price dropped. He was 1.9. Everybody was panicking. And then we realized that these cards, which Mbappe has one of these, are coming back into packs. Now, we don't know if all of them are coming back into packs, but if you noticed, Charles de Catalera, the Rios card yesterday, and all of the Man of the Match, aka Star Performer cards, were crashing in price from 129,000 coins to 50K. That is a disgusting price drop, as a lot of people were investing in these, of course, because they were hoping they were going to rise out of packs. But with the news yesterday from Foot Police that these Man of the Match cards are included in the re-release, with that news being out there, the panic got crazy, and these cards all tanked in price. Even the Mbappe Star Performer card and the Vitinha Star Performer card. I was looking at this guy for like 550,000 coins a couple of days ago, just watching his price. He was down as low as 400K yesterday. He's back up a little bit, but I'd be very careful with those cards right now. We're just waiting on the news of what exactly is in this re-release. Like, of course, we know Jogo Bonitos, Thunderstrucks, and Unbreakables are all a part of it, but these cards are a part of it too. What else are the leakers not telling us that they know about for cards that are going to be in this re-release? Now, back to the market for a couple more things to mention. Some of these cards that are still very meta and popular, like we said, and rare as well, are rebounding back up. Not just an Mbappe, who's potentially going out of packs, but also this De Jong, who still could be in packs. This is why I was talking about yesterday, watching over the next couple days before Winter Wildcards actually starts, some of the very rare, the very popular cards, big name players that people would still want to buy for their teams. There still could be opportunities to buy those, and they could be reaching their lowest points even today still, as the panic kind of ends, right? Coming out of the weekend, all the crazy first beginnings of the panic selling because Winter Wildcards is coming. You're seeing some of those cards finally hit their low points and start to rebound back up. I'm doing a really risky trade right now with Cruyff at the moment because he was so low, 3.1 million coins. I was like, dang, that's super cheap. And we'll see if he goes up today. Zlatan is at a new low of 3 mil, so not everything is starting to rebound back up, but some things like this Chiellini have. He was under 600k yesterday, and now he's 660,000 coins. So I'm still not saying it's an amazing time to buy cards unless it's a really expensive card like that. I think for most players, you probably want to wait and see what happens for Friday with winter wildcards, and we will go from there. We're watching the market very closely though, and it is a very tumultuous time right now, but I still think there's some more crazy movements ahead. So we're going to keep watching on that, but that was the movements from yesterday. Let's look at the big news though, guys. That is the max 86 rated Evos that were leaked. Foot Police started it all off yesterday by saying exclusive 86 rated evolutions are set to come to Ultimate Team soon. Which players would you like to Evo? Of course, there's a couple players that come to mind right away. Foot Agent doubled down on this and said Winter Wildcards Evos 86 rated, 7 playstyles boost. Not 2 playstyle plus boost though, which 7 playstyles boost is actually phenomenal because for it seems like ages now, so many of the Evos that we have had are all max 6 playstyle pluses. When you look inside of here for an Evo that gives a playstyle, right? Intercept up to 6. Of course, Tiki Taka up to 1. When you go into all these Evos, it's up to 6 playstyles, up to 6 playstyles. When you look at the players that are in your club, most of them, if they've been through Evos, are capped at 6 playstyles, right? Some of the only ones that I can think of that are going to be above that are live cards that have gotten their playstyles added to them from other upgrades. Like I think of the Javi Simons card, who I've technically evolved because I gave him Finesse Plus, but EA gave him like a passing playstyle. They gave him Pinged, and then I think it was maybe even Press Proven or First Touch, one of the two. So he has got 7 base playstyles right now instead of how most cards have 6. That's really the only way you're going to get above 6 playstyles at the moment unless the card came with it to begin with. That's a freaking dub. And there's so many 86 rated cards when I look at my club that I would just love to Evo at the moment. And I think we're going to have the opportunity to do that. And of course, with this, as we already mentioned, a lot of player prices started to go up as people were like, holy smokes, Claudia Pina is actually going to be fitting an Evo soon. Now, I want to temper the expectations a little bit because when we started to go from like max 84 even to max 85 Evos, which we have been in that range, max 85 Evos for a while, right? We didn't get all the max 85 Evos right away. It's not like it went from max 84 to max 85 and everything after that was just max 85. There still could be some max 84 and max 85 evolutions that are released even after we see our first maximum 86 overall Evo dropped. And that's the thing that I want to point out with these cards. Claudia Pina, 7,000 coins to 12k. A huge rise there. Of course, if this is a card that you have invested in, if you bought below like 9,000 coins, 12k now, she's only 2,000 coins away from being extinct. This is very, very close to being just sell it in the hype situation. You could maybe wait and ride it out to see if she goes extinct at 14k. But let me just say this. Max 86 evolutions doesn't mean that she's going to be evolvable this Friday, right? Let's say Friday Winter Wildcards promo comes out and there is an 86 rated Evo, but let's say it's for center mids. So this Tajani Reinders maybe fits it and gets a nice boost. And of course, he's up from 6,000 coins to 13k. So there's a lot of investing here. By the way, these cards are kind of fodder now. They're not bad. You could still use Reinders, but they're basically fodder. If you look at a lot of their prices, they were below 10,000 coins for some of these very meta golds. Reinders, Nico Williams, Messi, Claudia Pina. That means they have a lot of supply. That means these cards getting bought up as much as they have been for investments for evolutions. There's a very good opportunity here for these cards to be at their highest price before an evolution would actually come out. This is a prime sell it in the hype sort of situation just to be safe, especially if this dude's in packs this weekend for winter wildcards. You don't want to hold on to this card as just an 86 rated gold card, to be completely honest. Sure, maybe he's going to be a part of a re-release. We don't know that yet. But if he's in packs, you will not want to own this card. I mean, even Claudia Pina, she's going to be out of packs, which makes her card maybe a little bit of a safer investment. This is the #1 most invested in card right now in this game, I would be so sure to say. So selling in the hype is going to be a good idea. And I do think that some of these cards that are getting bought up right now will drop on the weekend because, again, like I mentioned, I don't think we're going to get all max 86 Evos right away. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Flash Evos will drop right away and they'll be max 86 and these cards will go up in value a little bit more. We'll have to see. But I think there's a great potential this weekend to see, like, let's say we do get a center mid Evo. Reinders keeps his price high, but Nico Williams and Claudio Pina don't fit a center mid Evo. Their prices may drop back down. What this is really good for is looking at the 86 rated cards that are on the market and that are in your club that you would want to evolve. Start to plan ahead a little bit. Maybe there's a player like Rodrigo's Inform that you would like to Evo. I don't think you want to buy that card right now, but later on this weekend, after, let's say we don't get a striker right mid or left mid Evo that this card would fit into, he might drop down a little bit in value because right now there's so many people investing in 86 rated cards for these evolutions. I think that's what you got to do. Maybe just like make a little list like this on Futbin. I went to players tab here. I just sorted by minimum and maximum rating 86. And I pulled up this page right here to look at some of the best 86 rated cards. Maybe you just like jot it down or like save this web page for players like Nuno Mendes, for Tonali, for even like Ekitike. He's 100,000 coins, but if he fits an evolution, we had a striker Evo, and you can put low driven or finesse plus on this card, that's going to be a very hype card, and he probably will go up a bit in value. But I think right now what you want to see is these cards drop before you invest. But I think it's a good idea to think about max 86 rated cards fitting into evolutions that are on the market, because there will be good investments to be made here from these players, especially like the lower budget, cheaper ones like Pacho for 6K. He already has the Bruiser Plus. He's got the great stats. I know we had an SBC, but not everybody did it. This Doomfreeze is definitely going to go crazy for an evolution at some point. Like, give something that gives him a bit more defending, something that gives him maybe a little more passing and dribbling, a little more pace potentially, and a playstyle plus. That's going to be a good card for evolutions, but I think you want to wait until the weekend to see what Evos drop and see what's leaked even ahead of time. The leaks will give us intel on if a card like Messi is going to go up for an Evo, or if it's going to be a center mid Evo or a center back Evo. So that's what I would talk about with you guys right now with those max 86, those 86 rated Evo cards is be careful if you're very heavily invested in them, and also watch the market this weekend for more longer term, very easy to make investments. We will be talking about that this weekend for sure. Now, speaking of Evos right here and right now, there is a shooting boost Evo that gives low driven playstyle that looks like it might be free, as a Foot Agent says here, and max 84 rated. That could be a part of content today or tomorrow on Thursday. It was not dropped yesterday, of course, but that is something to consider as a current Evo leak that we have right now. Now let's move on and talk about a few more Winter Wildcards leaks, starting off with the Base and Thunderstruck Icon Player Pack. Guys, this is an upcoming Icon Pack SBC. We have two new icon packs that have been added to the code. This one is probably going to be the one that we would all like to do. Since it's 87 plus, you take out a couple of the icons down at the very low range, very few of them, but it gives you the opportunity to pack Thunderstruck cards in an icon pack as well. And that's where I actually think there's a bit of potential with this, is the fact that you could get a Javi special or a Eusebio special if you're so lucky enough to pack either of those two. Instead of just their base icon item, you could get the special version, and that's pretty special, and that will be an SBC a lot of people would like to do. Granted, with the other player SBCs that have been leaked right now, maybe this is the big SBC a lot of people will be crafting during Winter Wildcards, because again, during Black Friday, the base icon upgrade was probably one of the most hyped things. Now, we also have a regular max 87 base icon only pack that has been added to the code too, along with an 80 times 100, which will probably be in the store, and an 87 plus campaign mix player pack, which is probably a part of today's content on Wednesday. So watch out for a new party bag, a new campaign mix that's 87 plus instead of an 86 plus, but two big icon packs incoming. Do we want to invest in Fodder? I don't think we want to just yet, guys. Look at 88s. They're down here at 9.8K. They're still chilling below 10,000 coins. I think we're going to treat Fodder this week like we did Black Friday week. There's a lot of saved up packs. There's going to be a lot of packs open from the store and from our saved packs this Friday when it comes to content drop time. So personally, I would wait to buy Fodder until then. That's kind of our plan of action right now, the way it looks to me. If we have bigger SBCs leaked, that could change things for the higher tier Fodder. Like if we have a big icon player SBC leaked, that would maybe change a few things in regards to that. But as of right now, the icon SBCs for the packs look to be the most exciting thing in terms of where we might be spending our Fodder during the Winter Wildcards promo. Now, a couple more SBC things to talk about. Dybala is set to come via SBC during Winter Wildcards. This could be a good one. It really could be. This could be one of those SBCs that we look at 3, 4, 5 weeks from now and it's still in our team and it's just an absolutely cracked one. This one could be like the legendary SBC of Winter Wildcards this year. It could, right? There's a lot of potential here because we have a lot of actually expectations for SBCs. When you look back, FIFA 22, FIFA 23, even FC 24, legendary SBCs. Last year, I would say there was like one and a half. I did Sane. He was pretty good for a bit. I didn't, mention a lot of people did him, but that Zé Roberto was crazy. That was the iconic SBC last year from Winter Wildcards, but Hullet in FC 24 was insane. Havertz was crazy as well. And then in FIFA 23, this Toni Kroos and this Dimitri Payet and Silas, unfreaking believable. And then in 22, all three of those, Zaha, Coutinho, and Awar, were so incredible. Like, we need the SBCs to hit on that level this year for FC 26. And this leak right here has me really curious. A lot of us have been saying that we would love a big icon SBC. I know that we've had Koeman and we have had Fernando Torres so far this year as like icon player SBCs that we could craft towards. I have not done either of those two SBCs. I don't think I'm going to do either of those. But if we had a Winter Wildcards icon, Spanish icon, which is kind of where this sounds like we might be headed, that would actually be really, really sick. Okay, FIFA Trading Romania tweets out, Feliz Navidad, Prospero Año y Felicidad, right? Spanish. Is this a Spanish player? That's what people are leaning towards. He hasn't leaked who it would be yet. Could it be a Spanish icon if he's making a separate tweet about it and like posting? We are really wondering right now. This feels like, and maybe we're getting our hopes up too much, but this feels like it could be a Spanish icon player. There's a lot of them that could be there. Fingers crossed that it is. Fingers crossed that it's a really good SBC. Like, imagine an Iniesta, man. An Iniesta would be amazing. New icon added to the game. Of course, he already has the Champions card that got upgraded, but that would be just absolutely phenomenal if they did that. Could be Javi. Could be somebody that we don't really want. Could be Casillas. That'd be interesting. So fingers crossed this is very good. I think we're going to get the leak of what he means by this, if it is indeed related to an SBC, pretty soon. So keep a close eye out for that. But again, in terms of fodder, I don't think I will be buying any at the moment based on the supply I think we're going to see on Friday. Last thing, we do have a Julian Ryerson card who's been leaked as well for a SBC or objective. Now think about it, guys. Daily SBCs are a part. That's actually a key component of the Winter Wildcards promo, the holiday promos of old. So we're still awaiting a lot of names when it comes to leaked player SBCs. We're still very curious to see how many we're going to be getting. Are we getting one per day, as we hopefully will be, and what players are going to be involved in that? So there's a lot more leaks yet still to come with that. Be watching out for today on Wednesday. We'll only be 2 days away from from Winter Wildcards. I keep saying Black Friday instead of Winter Wildcards, right? Because they're still the two big marquee promos of this time of the year. Keep mixing them up. Speaking of Winter Wildcards in-game, hopefully EA actually break the ice today and show a little bit of content in-game about it. They haven't dropped a splash screen yet. They haven't tweeted anything besides the 3 heroes that were leaked right after they tweeted about those, the Jill Scott, and then the other 2, Pizarro, and I forget the other one, that were leaked by Sheriff yesterday that we looked at in the video. But let's go through the rest of today's content on Wednesday. That is a summary of all the leaks. Let's talk about today. We already mentioned the 87 plus campaign pack that will probably be out to replace this 86 plus. Also expiring today is the League SBC, right? The Mixed League SBC is expiring and the Premium Mixed is expiring. So if you've got rare golds and common golds in your club now and even some silvers, like, I should probably go finish the Mixed League upgrade, because I definitely have cards in my club from the MLS and EFL and League 2 and La Liga 2 to get this one done, just because it is going to expire. So if you have one in completion there or halfway done, make sure you get that done, or just try to get a couple of packs before they go away. Hopefully they refresh. We'll see if they refresh right away or if EA take a couple of days off. But like they did last time, they were away for a day or two and then they came back, I believe, last time. So that's a part of content today they're watching very closely. Of course, it's a Wednesday, so we're looking for the team of the week, which we are getting a couple of interesting names here. Ekitike is in, Pavlidis, Muslera, Rafinha. Speaking of Ekitike, probably wouldn't want to buy his ratings reload card for Evos if this inform is going to be out. Depending on what the stats look like for him, that could be a very good card to Evo, and this one would be way cheaper than his ratings reload, so maybe that card would end up dropping. Gift Orban, Sangare is in here. You got Harry Wilson as a part of this team of the week as well, Eduard in the Ligue 1. So not the craziest team of the week. There could be a few more players involved in here than are shown, but that'll be dropping in today. So, open your team of the week packs if you were saving them from weekend league rewards, because Messi of course, is going out of packs today. So is Harry Kane and Osimhen. There should not be a best of team of the week during this promo. It sounds like it's just a best of or a winter re-release. The best or the other part of content today on Wednesday should be that Evo that was leaked. Hopefully it's the Max 84 low-driven base Evo that we saw there, a bit of a shooting boost. And then a player SBC, we still have a couple of names leaked. Alex Baena, we've got the Udol from League On. Of course, we already had Santos, so that SBC has been checked off the leaks, but 2 days left of this promo. 2 more SBCs to be leaked. I think that's Udol and Alex Baena. So I think those would be a very good potential to be dropping today on this game. Other than that, it's going to be a day to try to get your Rivals points in if you're playing. I know the feeling is like, man, I got to play Rivals because I really want to get my points up, because I really want to get the rewards. Again, once again, the nice thing is you don't have to play Rivals this week to qualify for Champs, because EA gave us that objective that gives you Champs points. You see here, I haven't played a game of Rivals this week, but I have 1,000 Champs points because I just finished up the Unbreakable League, which was a live event, of course, which gives us those extra objective points there. Also, the World Tour Silver Superstars. I know a lot of people are skipping this. I think personally I'm going to go for it just to try to get some of those packs in the group reward pack of the 86x5. And then, you know what? A sneaky place to be getting some games in this week, also if you're doing Evo chains, is Squad Battles. Squad Battles gives pretty good rewards, guys. I do want to shout this out as I've played a few games. I'm in Gold 3 right now. You know, even if I'm playing all of these games on semi-pro and I'm doing squad battles and I'm AFKing, scoring 5 goals, sending the controller down. If you want to even put it up to like professional or go a little higher than that, if you get into elite, 75x15 tradable at 84.5 and an 83x5, that is not bad. Even if you just get like gold 2, which is where I hope to end up, a 75x12, an 84x2, and an 83x5, 5,000 coins. Those are not too shabby of rewards for playing offline and getting some evolutions done in the progress. So that is one shout that I would give you guys there for today on Wednesday. But we're going to be streaming today, looking at all the new content, of course, seeing what leaks that we get. I think we got to get some news soon about who's going to be in the best of re-release. I'm so curious to know who is going to be involved in that, since we had a change yesterday knowing that those man of the match cards are going to be a part of it. I'm very curious. We're going to continue watching the market. I bought a Cruyff. Crazy, risky, but we're going to go for it. I still have a Saliba that I bought from yesterday. The Vidic that we bought did make us some good coins. Vidic rose up very nicely. He went up over 100K. I bought him for 1.22, sold him for 1.35. He's still right around there right now. But that's going to be the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys in the streams today around content. It's been Nate, TheFutAccountant. Have a great Wednesday. Peace out.